What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. It's been a while since we've had a pure Titans NFL show. I know we had a show this past week with Eddie O'Reilly live from Germany, and that was a really cool show. And I appreciate all of you who watched the show and all of you who had donated to the cause. I think through the show, about $300 was raised to help towards his cause and getting visas and stuff like that. If you guys don't know about Eddie O'Reilly, his story has gone viral lately. Him and his family have escaped Ukraine. They're safe in Germany, but they still need a lot of help along the way. His GoFundMe will be in the description below. So, check that out. And, whatever you can give, if it's $1, $5, all that stuff, no problem there. So, or if you can't give anything, your prayers are more than welcome too. So we got an awesome show lined up for you guys. We got Titans and Truth on the show. We got Titans for Life. And we also got another special guest, but I'm not going to reveal it right now. We'll wait till we pop them on the screen here. You'll see who it is. And I'm excited about it. So let's roll the intro. We'll bring them in there. And guys, you're part of the war room. You're part of the war room tonight. And we're going to need your help. So here we go. All right, let's bring our special guest in here. There is Truth. And there is Titans for Life on the bottom. And who do we got with us, with you, Titans for Life?
This is my son, Xavier. Say hi.
Hi.
Everybody, welcome Xavier to the show. He's obviously an honorary member of the Titan Upload Network, being with James there. And what's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. It looks like I get to meet the famous Titans for Life in person now. So definitely an honor and a privilege.
This right here. He studies more football than I do.
Hey.
Yeah. And I've heard he's a heck of an athlete too.
Yes, he is. And the funny thing is he told me today, we're driving up the road. What'd you tell me about how much you study?
I study way more football than I do in actual school. Like, I don't study that much in school. I'm still keeping up as good grade as I can. So
straight A's right now. So
hey,
say you're doing all right.
we hope his teachers aren't watching.
And I actually just saw a notification that Tennessee Titans Weekly is live right now too. I didn't know they were going live tonight, but shout out to them as well. So we got a cool show lined up and little mock draft action we're going to get going with. And up until the combine, I mean, and I got to be honest here, guys, like I was lacking on the prospects this year. And when the combine rolled around, I started getting into it more. And I know you watched it a lot, Truth, too. But it got me excited because I just feel like this year is such a deep draft. You know what I mean? There's just certain positions that are really deep. But overall, I feel like it's a deep draft. And I feel like, you could get some really quality players even up into the 4th, maybe 5th round in this draft. So I'm pretty excited. But what's your thoughts on it initially, Truth and James?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I really didn't start keeping up with prospects and stuff really until the combine. That's kind of when I really started. Because I mean, mock drafts, we see all this and that. After the combine, okay, now mock drafts can start becoming a little bit more relevant. Before then, you really couldn't really take any credence with any mock draft. But now you can kind of see it. It's going to slowly start to take shape. But I agree with you. I mean, there are some positions. It is extremely deep. We're probably talking about wide receivers is deep. I think this is a very impressive tight end class. Offensive linemen. There's probably going to be some good, decent offensive linemen. I think the best ones are at the top, pretty top heavy. But I think those could be some deep spots. Quarterback, not as much. Now, I will be honest, I have not really paid a lot of attention to defensive prospects because, in all honesty, with the Titans, I don't think we're really going to be going a lot of defense in this draft. I think we need to focus more on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Well, me personally, I think the deepest position group that I saw is definitely tight ends. I think they are the deepest. You're looking fourth, fifth, in rounders that would in traditional draft years go go in the top 3 rounds. But quarterbacks, I'm a little bit down on the quarterbacks, to be honest with you. I think that the quarterbacks are really top heavy. You've got 5 guys maybe that are NFL quote ready. And when I say that, I mean within the first 3 or 4 years, within the first 3 years there will be starters and really good starters, and then I think everyone else are projects. And so in wide receivers, I see some dudes, just some flat out dudes, and then you got a few guys, and then you got a few maybes. But I mean, I really think that's what I saw. But I really want to see when it comes to receivers, I like to see the 3-cone drill. I like to drill down on that 3-cone drill. It gets their change of direction, their explosiveness out of breaks and things like that. And I like to see their pro days. I'd like to see what they do on their pro days before I really give my final assessment on that. So.
All right, and and we'll go through some of the. There's a really cool site that I've been looking at. I don't know if you guys have checked it out, and I don't know if it was around last season or not, but it's draftbuzz.com or something like that, and it's just a really cool layout and breakdown of so many players. I mean, probably the most thorough one I think I've seen as far as the amount of players that they have that they break down. And they have all the updated combine 40s and workouts and stuff like that in there too. So we'll kind of go through some of those. I do want to get to something first. And, what's already happened in the Titans world. And obviously Saffold and Lamb were released. And Brett Kern, they just restructured today. And these numbers that you're seeing on the screen, now, obviously that Kern number is not right because I think he's going to count like 2.2 against the cap this year. But the numbers that you see are basically without, with the dead cap taken out. This is what we would save by cutting these guys. Obviously, the ones in white we have not done anything with yet. What do you guys think about, particularly, some of these are pretty, it's a pretty hairy situation, because you got Cunningham who played great for us. Luan's one of those. A lot of people don't want to see Luan go, and I'm kind of one of them. Janoris Jenkins, I think I don't think we got to discuss him much. I think he's going to be pretty much gone, but between these 3, Cunningham, Jones, and Luan, just kind of give us your thoughts on these 3. And we'll start with Chris. Keeping, restructuring. What do you think they're going to do?
Well, I think keeping Zach Cunningham is a must. In my honest opinion, if you gotta rework it and try to lower the salary cap number, that's fine. Because I mean, he stepped in right away and was fantastic. I mean, basically did a lot of things Rashaan Evans couldn't do and did it better. I mean, basically started from jump and, made Rashaan Evans completely obsolete. So you got to find a way to hold on to Zach Cunningham because you don't want to make a need that's not necessary. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you got to find a way to work it out, lower Zach's number, bring him back. I know a lot of people want to be down on Julio and get rid of him. I think Julio at least deserves another year to give it a shot and see what we could do. I don't know if you can rework that. I mean, it depends on maybe what you do in the draft, or if you make another move, then maybe you can let Julio go or something like that. But I'd say you keep this core together, you give Julio another shot, but you better have his replacement ready to go. Lawan, restructure that deal, save you some money down the line and things like that. And, Janoris, thanks for coming. It's been nice knowing you.
and James and Xavier, if you got some thoughts too, like who would you keep, Xavier? And we'll pull it up here for you again. But out of these four at the bottom, Cunningham, Jones, Jenkins, and Luwan, who do you want to see us keep, and who would you like to go?
So I feel like Julio will would be a really good player to keep in this scenario. Maybe lower it right back down to $9 million. I feel like 9.5. If you just lower it down a bit, it'll be enough for where he stays, but you get more money. I don't keep Jenkins. Lawan maybe lower his salary to $10 million. So.
Yeah, and James, like as far as the Luwan situation, and I saw a comment in there and somebody calling Luwan trash and this and that, but I mean, a lot of Titans fans love Luwan. I love Luwan. You know what I mean? It's hard to for me, it's the fan of me, but it's like at the same time, what do you think, James? What do you think about Luwan?
Luwan, to me, is one of the, you got guys out there who are good players. You got guys out there who are great players. Then you got those dogs. Taylor Lewan is one of those dogs. He gets out there. He's like a pit bull. Once he gets his hands on you, it's over. I mean, you might as well go on and sit down. The thing is I think that they've got his replacement already. So, to me, keeping Lewan, if you can restructure in a way where it's affordable to keep him to allow, further development, I think you've got yourself a winning combination there. Lewan has been injured, and I think with the release of Saffold, Lewan becomes even more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand why people are saying that he's trash. I mean, if he's trash, then I'm going dumpster diving.
Let me, Jay, let me help you out. And look, Ms. Mims, I love you. I know you have been highly. She feels about Lewan the way I feel about Tannehill. So perfectly understood. But and I try to explain to Ms. Mims on this one. Remember, the 4 premium positions. I've said this many times. The 4 hardest positions to pick and the 4 most expensive: corner, quarterback, pass rusher, tackle, particularly on the left side. Those are the 4 hardest to find. Those are the 4 most expensive positions. When you got one, if you got a good one, you don't let them go. And I mean, we got a couple of young corners with Christian Fulton, who's I think turning out to be pretty darn good. Caleb Farley, we still got to see, what happens with him. Taylor Lewan, for the most of his career, has been a pretty solid left tackle. He may not be the best left tackle in the game, but I still think he's pretty darn good in everything. Yeah, he needs his salary cap number lowered, but he still does pretty good. And I mean, the first part of the year, yeah, it was a struggle with him coming back from injury, but as the season went on, he got better. Saffold getting cut, we all knew that was coming. We all saw it a mile away, because every game you will watch, you see a player go down on their knee, be like, injured Titan on the field, it's Roger Saffold. Almost every game, every other game, it was him that was down. So that's understood. Dylan Raiders, I hope, starts at right tackle, which I don't know why in the world the Titans messed that up, because they kept trying to make him play everywhere, and I think they overwhelmed him a little too much. All I kept thinking is, just focus on the man playing tackle, whether it's left or right side. Don't be trying to make him a guard. He's a tackle. Let him play his position. So that's what I kind of feel when it comes to that. I wanted to address that Lewan situation, because I know Miss Mims and some others just want to get rid of Lewan because they think he talked too much. I'm like, it's okay to have a little moxie, although I don't like the fact that he just keeps defending Tannehill like crazy. But we all know the truth.
See, that's where me and Chris disagree about Tannehill. I think Tannehill is just the type of quarterback that's got to be put in the right position. He's got to be put in the right position. He has to be put into a position to where it's almost impossible for him to make a bad decision. And I honestly just think the offensive coordinator just kind of pooped his pants, I guess is the best way to say it.
Now I will agree with you on that. The offensive coordinator is a problem, but the offensive coordinator didn't throw those 3 picks. He didn't throw 17 interceptions over the course of the year. That was Tannehill.
But he also put Tannehill in a position to have to throw those throws because there was nothing left. There was nowhere else to go. He had to make a hard throw.
And that's the thing, is like, you're saying that, you got to put Tannehill in the best position. I guess I've always been under the belief the quarterback is supposed to make everybody else better. That is the number one spot. Your job is to make everybody else better. When the chips are down, and Derrick Henry, if he gets shut down, you got to be the guy to lead him to victory. And I've said it before, I said it again. Unfortunately, with this season, I really don't have expectations, because I feel like this is going to be a story that I've read before. I know how this story is going to end. Tannehill will do some good, will win a division, and he's going to find a way to screw it up in the playoffs again. I'm sorry, everybody. That's just my honest opinion. I already see it. I already know how this is going to go.
You can be the best cyclist on earth. Enter the Tour de France. You can be the best cyclist on earth. But I put you on a tricycle, you're going to lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I put you on a tricycle, you're going to lose. And Tannehill was working on a tricycle probably, 10 games out of the season? He was working on a tricycle. I mean, there were times in which the personnel on the field was all wrong.
Yeah.
There were times on the field where it should have been, go ahead, let's get what we can get and punt. But instead, they're trying to push the ball down the field, trying to get that first down when, a punt is better. I mean, we've got Brett Kern is probably one of the best punters in the league.
Or had a play where Julio and AJ ain't on the field.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly didn't understand why Julio Jones wasn't on the field on that 3rd and 4th down. Makes no sense to me at all. And I don't get it, but I think with the passing game coordinator coming position opening up, that there's going to be somebody, just kind of looking over that shoulder, but no, we're not running that right now. We don't have the right personnel on the field.
Right.
And I think, and I also think that a fully healthy Derrick Henry makes the game different. It makes the play call options much more different because now you got 9 in the box and you're man-to-man on your man-to-man out there. They were playing that what I call shadow 9, right? Shadow 9 means that there are 2 guys that are kind of there, but are kind of dropping back in coverage. But then if the ball's handed off, they run up. That shadow 9, what I call shadow 9, when I was coaching, that's just what we called it, shadow 9, shadow 8, shadow 9. Is effective if you think that the star player who happens to be a running back is not fully healthy. So I that's where that that also handicapped our offense, and what also handicapped our offense a lot last year was simply not playing together. How many games were they all healthy?
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
3. I mean, you got to get reps.
Yo, you're absolutely right. I can't disagree with that.
So I mean, so when it comes to Ryan Tannehill, I've seen him fit a football, into a spot where I was like, how did he do that? And then I've seen him throw where a wide open receiver and then throw it straight to the safety.
Right. And that's what gets me.
Yeah.
So that's what gets me. It's like the play where he threw the last interception. I'm thinking in my mind, first of all, I don't know how is that AJ and Julio are not on the field for that particular play. Number 2, I'm like, throw AJ and Julio the freaking ball. It's like first, second, third, fourth, fifth options and more. I'm like, forget NWI and Chester Rogers. I don't care if AJ and Julio are double covered. You get those guys the ball. They're going to, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do you more good than harm. Going to NWI or Chester, you're going to do more harm than good. And
I would say, to go along with that, I would say, okay, who's going to outmuscle either one of those guys that's a corner? Name me a corner that's going to outmuscle AJ or Julio.
Not if there is, it ain't too many.
No.
Not
many at all.
Size and that physicality, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I hope they find a way to, I hope they do keep Julio. I think maybe they'll have to restructure him too. There's a guy that Titan Upload, and shout out to Titan Upload. He's been in the chat here. There's a guy that he's been on, Ted Karros. He's a guard from the Patriots. He's played for about 5 seasons, started for them. And he Upload's been really big on this guy. I kind of looked him up a little bit today. Seems like he could be a good fit for us. Seems like he's a pretty decent player. I don't know if y'all know anything about the guy, but anyways, he's a free agent. So I mean, him being from New England, he's actually played multiple positions, which they love on the offensive line. So obviously they're gonna have to pick up a free agent guard, I would imagine. I mean, I don't think you're finding one. Maybe you do in the draft. I don't know. We'll look up some of the guys here in a minute that are available at guard. And shout out to everybody who's in the chat. We've got a lot of comments here. DBS 2000, Jay Tyrus, Titan Rob, Titan Anderson. What's up, brother? And Titans 2K. And Miss Mims, thank you for your comments as well, and everybody who's in the chat. So I want to get to some of these players, and let's see here. I'm going to pull up this screen. Now, this is the Draft Buzz site, and we'll just kind of look over some of the players at the need positions that the Titans do need. Let me share the screen here. And like I said, there is a lot of talent this year. in different positions. Maybe some of them not as much, but let me get to the actual positions here. Well, how do I get that off the screen? Let me reload it here. There we go. All right. So let's get to some of the positions. Where are the positions at? I've always navigated this on my phone, but not on here.
Yeah, desktop always wants to mess around.
There we go. Okay. So let's just go ahead and go to the offensive line here. And I think you can separate the guards and tackles. We'll look over the tackles first. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the Titans go tackle. I mean, obviously you need, I hope to God, Truth and Titans for Life, that they do not keep going with Quesenberry on the right side.
Right.
You know, I mean, golly,
Right.
man, if they haven't learned their lesson. So kind
I've
of
seen blades of grass block better.
yeah. So here are
Exactly.
kind of the top 8, and we can scroll down some more too. Guys that are available. Obviously Evan Neal is going to be gone, you know, way before us. Charles Cross as well. Interesting guy here, Trevor Penning. A lot of people have talked about this guy. I love this dude.
Me too.
The play he made in the Senior Bowl. And I also like the Kennard kid from Kentucky. Any of these guys stand out to y'all that maybe I'm not bringing up here or anything?
I'm gonna let you go first. Time delay.
If you scroll down just a little bit,
All right.
get down to about there he is. I cannot pronounce his last name. Luke, number 12 there. He's been intriguing to me. Because first of all, I think he's going to be available in the 3rd round, which is where I think the Titans need to really look at is the 3rd round. We don't have a 2nd round this year. We have a 1st round, but I really think the 1st round the Titans need to focus on either flip flop. You can either go 1st round with the offensive line, or you can go 3rd round with the offensive line. Whichever one you go with, then the opposite needs to be for a tight end, because that is a position of need. That is a glaring problem the Titans had last year. They had no one that could run that seam route, and no one to threaten that safety and that linebacker in the middle to say, "Hey, you better pay attention to me, or I'm going to burn you like a charcoal briquette." So, but on the right side of the line, you can go pretty deep in the draft and get a right tackle or a right guard real deep in the draft, because that is not a premium position like left guard or like left tackle. Left tackle is a premium position. Right tackle is not as premium. So they tend to go deeper in the draft. You start seeing right tackles mid-2nd round to late 3rd, early 4th round. That's where you tend to see those right guards, right tackles go. So to me, that is where the Titans need to be focusing on, because you can get a really good right guard or right tackle in the 3rd round, save yourself some money because you're up against the cap, save yourself some money and go that route, and then get a premium tight end in the 1st round, which is not going to save you money, but by saving money on that guard or tackle for 3 years, hey, you got yourself a premium tight end that's going to actually change the game for you, because now you've got that guy. They're having to play a lot of shadow 8, shadow 9 coverages, and a healthy Derrick Henry, you playing shadow 8, shadow 9. By the time you get to him, he's standing in the end zone. So that's just where I think the Titans would go. I haven't seen their draft board. I've heard rumors about draft boards and stuff like that. So that's where I see things.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, well, Trevor Penning, first of all, one word, and I've said this many times, absolutely nasty.
Yeah.
He is nasty. He will flat out beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he will beat you up. He will demoralize you through the whole game. You're gonna get sick of wanting to go up against that guy because he's just gonna keep beating you down, showing no mercy. he is the definition of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
He is exactly that. He strikes first, he strikes hard, and shows no mercy. Mercy is for the weak. So that is basically what he does. Another guy that I thought was interesting. I've heard TD mention this guy, Daniel Falele from Minnesota. I'm really not high on him, to be honest. From
He's
Minnesota.
up a little bit.
I think he's up there a little bit.
He's in the first. He was on the first page.
Oh,
Yeah,
was he? Okay.
page.
Yeah, I think
And
he's
so,
like 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, 6. So
6,
I'm
yeah.
not really
Okay.
high on him. Sean Ryan from UCLA, I thought had a pretty decent combine. I'm shocked I don't see Bernard Raymond's name right here on this first page. I'm kind of surprised about that.
I thought he was on there. I thought he was at like 10.
Nah, he's not on there. He might be on the second page, but he ain't on the first page. So Bernard
That is
Raymond,
interesting because
it's interesting. Like, I know that word is he maybe didn't have the best combine, but I'm surprised he's not, in that top 10 area. I don't know why he's not showing at all, but that's a shock to me.
Interesting. He's a tackle?
He's a tackle.
Huh?
He's a
Maybe
tackle.
they forgot to put him on there.
I guess so. But Bernard Raymond from Central Michigan could be pretty good as well. Now, again, Sean Ryan from UCLA, I think could be pretty good as a late pick or anything like that as far as offensive linemen. So those are a couple of names that come on. Kennard, I did see a little bit of him at the combine, but I really didn't pay attention as much. And Jay Tyrus is right. I'm expecting like one of those late round picks or an undrafted free agent to be Tyler Vrabel. We might as well just go ahead and prepare for that. Tyler Vrabel will be on the roster because Mike Vrabel's going to make sure of it.
What position does he play?
He's a tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Tyler Vrabel's a tackle. So don't be surprised. He's going to be chosen. He will be a Titan.
Well, the only problem that I have, can you go back there for a second there?
Yeah.
To the first page? Right there. The only thing I think about Trevor is I don't think he's there when the Titans pick.
He might not be there.
I don't think he makes it past maybe 17, 18, somewhere around there.
He had a very good combine.
If I'm not mistaken, his 3-cone drill was like in the 7s.
Yeah, I can't remember because I know sometimes they may not show like the 3-cone or the shuttles all the time. They just show the 40s and some on-field work.
Yeah, low 3.7s, low 7.25. So I mean, when coaches see that and then he's able to repeat it, I guarantee you he's not going to be there because that 3-cone drill on most players shows that change of direction. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I mean, at a 7.25 for a guy who's going to be on the offensive line, that's impressive.
Yeah, 4.89 is impressive for a freaking
it's
325-pound man.
Yeah,
I mean that's
very good.
That's pretty fast.
Heck, if I tried to do that right now, I'd probably break a hip. Y'all be visiting me in the hospital.
Let's get to the guards here too. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay, so some of the guards here. I don't honestly, guys.
That's why they got him at guard. That's interesting. I'm like, why do they have him at guard?
Okay, is that who you were talking about?
Yeah, Bernard Raymond. I don't know why they have him at guard. That's interesting.
Well, I know like some people were projecting him to be a better guard than tackle. That I've heard that he was a little slow on his shuttle and a little slower than expected on his 3-cone drill. So I don't know if that played a part in it, and that he's kind of a bigger body.
Yeah, and he's pretty raw. He's still learning to play the position because he's a converted tight end. He's a converted tight end. Probably hasn't really played a lot of football, so he's still learning the position. So I wouldn't want to do that in the first round, but I mean, if he drops back maybe to like the end of the second week trade up, maybe get a second or a third round pick if he's there, that's possible. But he may not be there though.
Have they announced the compensatory picks yet?
No, I don't think so.
I know the Titans are expected to either get a fourth, maybe.
I think they're supposed to get a fourth and a sixth.
Yeah,
and they're talking about Raymond here being a first to mid pick somewhere.
If you get him in the third round, that could be a steal.
Let's see. We currently consider Raymond as a high second round prospect who may squeeze in the day one with an impressive performance. So, I mean, we'll see. There was another guy here. There's only a couple names that I kind of know. Zion Johnson, heard a lot about this guy.
Nice.
And Zion Johnson and Dylan Parham from Memphis. He's an intriguing prospect too. Any of these guys that you think could start right away in Saffold's place if we went there?
I would say definitely Zion Johnson absolutely could be day one, in my honest opinion. I like the story of this kid with Boston College. I think I heard when he got on the OTP with Mike Keith, and they got to talk to him a little bit. I think at the Senior Bowl or something like that. So, excellent kid, could definitely play guard. I think he's even been working at center as well. So he's very versatile. Probably could play any of the interior positions. So I like him. Dylan Parham, got to watch him quite a bit here in Memphis for the University of Memphis. Extremely impressive athlete. Definitely gets good push. Definitely has that good strength upper body. And I think he might go a little bit earlier than people might expect with that, because I think he's going to be quite a find. Definitely watch out. I'm sorry.
Dylan needs really, when I looked at his, when I was looking at some of his tape, his footwork tends to get a little sloppy at times. But he makes up for it with just so much power and upper body strength. Now, you can't do that in the NFL. So I think he really needs to work on his footwork. He gets a little lazy, reaches a little too much at times, but he's just so powerful that he's been able to get away with it in the college ranks and probably high school ranks too. But that's a guy who's going to take a little bit of development. He's going to have to hit spring training and hit it hard. He's going to have to take the mini camp.
And I think he could. He has he definitely he's definitely strong enough to, I think that he would definitely take it seriously and take it hard. Watch out. Another guy that I know I've heard the Titans talking about is Cole Strange from UTC from Chat. Definitely want to watch out for him. Marquise Hayes from Oklahoma. I know the Titans have met with him as well from UTC number 7. So definitely watch out for 7 and 8. Cole Strange and Marquise Hayes are a couple of guys that the Titans have spoken with and met with at the combine.
Yeah, you just clicked on Ed Ingram. I was not impressed with him.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to him, really.
I was not impressed with him. He's I don't know how to say this without being, I don't want to defame the guy. I don't want to, denigrate his work. But he seems to be lazy at times. just, he doesn't put forth a lot of effort at times. And that was my knock on him at LSU. If you watch that Alabama game, that LSU Alabama game, it was like he wasn't even there half the time. It's like he was sitting in the stands watching the game. A guy who I think is a project, probably not a starter this year, is Cade Mays. I really do. I really like Cade Mays. He's one of them guys that can be he can be one of them dogs. He's nasty in the trenches. I think the reason why he gets a little overlooked is the fact that he is 321 at guard as opposed to 330, 335 to 340 at guard. And he doesn't have great change of direction, but in the Titans offense, you don't have to at guard.
Yeah. And that's another guy. We all know J-Rob likes local guys.
Yeah.
So, he's another guy like Cole Strange. They're going to probably put a lot into him. When they have their visits to Nissan, to St. Thomas Sports Park, him and Cole Strange, they're going to count as local prospects. So that it's not going to count against them. So, K-Mays, I've heard that name as well.
Yeah, especially if you could pick him up in the 4th or 5th round. Whoo,
that would be nice. And you probably could get both of those guys there in like the 4th round. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and roll to the tight ends.
Well, we're gonna be here for a while because there's a lot.
And we won't spend a whole lot of time on each of these. We'll go into the mock draft here in a minute, but just kind of skim through some positions. But so obviously, I mean, the tight ends there's a lot of focus on the tight ends this year. I think there's a lot of depth at tight end. I don't know if there's a lot of like first round superstars, but I think you got a lot of guys who can be very serviceable and be very decent in the league, and I'll start with I kind of have a dark horse. I don't know if he's kind of considered a dark horse, but somebody that I really like that I've watched is Cole Turner from Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, I've watched film on him, and the dude can block. Like he is an awesome blocker. He's decent at catching too. I just think he's one of those Titans type of tight ends that you could put out there. You could rely on him to block. He's a heck of a pass blocker. But and we'll start with you, Chris. But any of these guys that you absolutely want or stand up to you?
Well, I would probably say like the first 8 all could probably go. There's not going to be a tight end going in the first round, in my opinion. So I think the tight end might start getting a run maybe in the middle of the second round. But I think in the 3rd round, you could get yourself a good tight end, a starting caliber tight end. Obviously, everybody knows about Trey McBride, catching a lot of ball. But I am concerned that he only had 1 touchdown catch but caught 90 balls. That is definitely something I have to think about, but I like McBride. Jeremy Ruckert, I've heard a lot about him and seems pretty good, and everything. A lot of people are high on Jelani Woods, and I am too, from Virginia, like 6'6", 6'7", and had a very nice combine. Very fast for his size. I definitely liked him. Greg Dulcich from UCLA, I liked him as well. But 2 names that I didn't see yet that are dark horses. Watch out for these. Get to know these 2 names. TD has said this guy a lot. Chig Okonkwo from Maryland. Watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. Ran a 4.5 4.40.
There he is.
Caught the ball very well. TD has raved about this kid.
4.52. Wow.
Yeah. TD has raved about this kid, and I see why. Like, I still gotta watch some more film, but I see why. And watch out for another guy from Michigan State, Connor Hayward. he was a converted fullback to tight end. So, if you go with him, he could make Kari Blasingame or Torrey Carter obsolete because he could be that tight end and also a fullback as well. So those are a couple of names that stick out to me as far as tight end. Very deep class though. Watermeyer, he has those concentration drops from time to time. So that's something that worried me. Very impressive athlete. Definitely could be a receiving threat, but he does have those concentration drops. That kind of concerns me.
Well, the guy who, I hate to say it this way, but he is a Vrabel type of guy. It was Ferguson.
I have heard his name before from Wisconsin.
He's Jake Ferguson is a kind. When I see Jake Ferguson out there on the field, I look at and I say that's Vrabel. That's a Vrabel kind of guy. That's the kind of guy that that Vrabel likes. Just kind of rough and tough. Can catch the ball, decently. Doesn't stretch the field vertically, but you put him out there to block and he's going to lay somebody out. And he just, for some reason, he oozes Vrabel for me. And my understanding is that there's several tight ends that are dark horses that the Titans are looking at because they're not sure where they're really wanting to pick a tight end. Are they wanting to go in the third round or they want to go into the fourth round? If you're looking at a third round pick, I don't think any of the top 8 will be there in late in the third round. So if you're looking at late in the third round, you might as well go in the fourth round where some of these guys are going to get for a steal, like a Jake Ferguson is a guy that is probably going to be there in the fourth round. Because I think the top 8 are the ones that are going to go in the second and third rounds.
And Okonkwo might go with them too.
Yeah. So I just don't know. Realistically speaking, that not having a second round draft pick this year really hurts.
It does.
It really, really
isn't
hurts.
this Jelani Woods? Isn't he like 6'7" or something?
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And runs a 4.61. But yeah, that you got my ears perking there, Truth, with what's the guy's name you were just talking about? The 4.52 Okonkwo, yeah. That's an intriguing prospect there.
Now I've heard that he has moved up on a lot of draft boards.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like I said, TD, he can't stop glowing about that guy. Now, Jeremy Rucker from Ohio State, because he did not perform at the combine due to injury, may slide down. So that, is something to watch out for. He might be available there late third. He might be a guy that kind of falls down because the others are coming up.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead. We'll kind of just go over the wide receivers for our last one here, and then go into the mock draft. And this is a deep group. You know what I mean? These wide receivers, it could be one of the best, wide receiving groups in a long time. And it seems like even last year, there was a lot of good wide receivers that produced in the league this year. So let's kind of scroll down and see him here. All right. So, and we'll kind of keep scrolling down too, but the top 9, as you can see on the screen here, I know there's other guys. Well, I'll go ahead and kind of give some of my favorites that I've seen. I really like Calvin Austin. The only thing with Calvin Austin is he's very small. He's like, I think that's the guy I'm thinking about. That's like 5'9". He's like 5'9", 173. I've seen some pages and stuff where he's like 165, even 162 on a page, which is weird. But so who knows how much he really weighs, but man, that dude is quick. He can catch the ball, man. He can make people miss. he's just exciting to watch. Another guy that I really like, Sky Moore. I like Sky Moore a lot. And Christian Watson. Obviously, Olave, I think, could be awesome. And let's see here. I know there's some on the second page too. A lot of guys at Velus Jones. He's a guy that could maybe go 5th round, late 4th round. He's a speedster guy. He didn't really produce much in Tennessee up until this past season, but there's some guys that we could pick up late if we have to. I think that could make a difference. We'll start with you, James, on this one. Who are kind of your maybe 3 or 4 that you really like? And Xavier, if you have any too, let us know.
My first, where I think realistically the Titans are going to be drafting a wide receiver, maybe the compensatory 4th, maybe the 5th round. I really think that a guy named Braylon Sanders out of Ole Miss, he put on a show. He really did. He put on a show. He's smaller. He's 6 foot. I think he was a 4'4", 4'4" something, 40. He is, he's a guy that I think is kind of more along the lines of maybe a project a little bit. And you can get him in the 4th. I think.
Who did you say it was?
Get him, huh?
Who was it?
Braylon Sanders. He's going to be way down there.
Page.
He had some issues with his hands, but he was injured. He was injured some of the time, and he played for Auburn.
Yeah,
and that Charles, that Rambo, man, I tell you what, I'd draft him just for his name.
Yeah.
I
think we've had a Rambo on the Titans before. From what I can't
remember the Rambo. I can't remember.
I don't know if you may have already passed him.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure. But anyways, any of these other guys you seeing that kind of come out to you?
Let's see. Well,
he's on the 3rd page, I believe, on yours.
Okay.
He'll be on the 3rd page.
Yeah.
Is that the bottom?
Obviously, yeah.
Right there he is.
35.
Braylon Sanders. Yeah, I did.
36. There's 35 and then 37.
Yeah, who is 36? That's a good. That is a good point.
There's such a drop off between 35 and
37.
They need to spruce up this page a little bit. So.
I don't, because I noticed they have 6, 8, and 7. They got it all over the place. I'm like,
I didn't even notice that. That's so weird.
So a couple of guys that stick out to me. Obviously, I absolutely love Chris Olave. I think he definitely shot himself up a little bit further up the board. I didn't really get to pay attention to George Pickens. I think TD is saying this is a guy that maybe people might be sleeping on right now in the draft. Calvin Austin, I got to start with him because he's from my alma mater. Yeah, he may be small, but the dude is just fast. He is F-A-S-T fast. You got good speed. You got great speed. This guy and Jameson Williams, got to see how he comes back from injury. These two cats have world-class speed. World-class. Ran track. He came to U of M to run track and ended up playing football. He's that fast. Plus, he also gives you return ability as well. So he can help on returning kicks and punts as well. So we've had trouble with punt returner. He could definitely do that for you as well. And he's a guy, he plays a lot bigger than what he is.
Yeah.
He plays bigger than what he is. And my goodness, he's got to be on the Titan. I will scream, I will jump, do cartwheels to the moon if they pick him, which they should. Sky Moore, I definitely like. Christian Watson, I was impressed with. Velus Jones, the only knock on him is he's going to be like 24, 25 years old coming into the league.
Yeah.
So he's already going to be at an age where a lot of guys are going on their second deal. He's on his first, so that could be a problem. Traylon Burks, I thought caught the ball well, but speed was an issue. Obviously running a 4.5 40, not great or anything, but you go to the tape, the guy's a dog. I do notice that. Alec Pierce from Cincinnati looked a lot faster than I thought. I was very much impressed. Tyquan Thornton ran unofficially a 4.21, but we know the guys that run the fastest tend to not do much, or anything like that. But a couple of guys I keep my eye on. Wan'Dale Robinson, I've heard some stuff about him from Kentucky. I think it's Romeo Dubes from Nevada is another cat that could be a speedster. So there's a lot of speed in this draft. A lot of speed in this draft. And Mekhi Polk is another cat, may not be listed from Mississippi State. I watched him against Memphis, a very talented guy that I think could be a steal maybe in the later rounds at the back end of the draft. So wide receiver, if you want speed and you want good receiver, this is a good draft to get it. Justin Ross from Clemson, I remember hearing about him, before the college season started. Hadn't heard from him since. So I'm like, we'll have to see about him too. But a lot of good.
That's what I was going to ask you about. I was like, he ran a 4.6.
4.61.
And David Bell from Purdue, very bad combine, running almost a 4.7. Not good.
But when I look at Justin Ross, I see, Clemson was just not very good this year.
No, they weren't.
They didn't have a quarterback to get the ball out. They didn't have a very good offensive line, in my opinion. They had a serviceable offensive line, but not what we're used to seeing from Clemson. So, so I understand why his production goes down, and a lot of people, when I do my draft evaluations, when I'm looking at draft, especially for the Titans, I'm looking at realistically where are we going to be able to get somebody. We can't draft everybody in the first round. We can't draft everybody in the third round because we only get one pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at what are our biggest needs versus where can we get some value down lower. With the wide receiver class being this deep, the tight end receiver class being this deep, I think you can get some quality guys later on and develop them a little bit. Some of them are going to require some development, but I think ultimately you've got to go with these premium positions, more premium positions, because there's not that depth at right guard, right tackle. There's just not that depth.
Well, let me ask y'all a quick question. Do y'all see anything special about Garrett Wilson from Ohio State? Because I don't. Help educate me if I'm wrong. I don't see nothing special about him.
Well, the only thing special I really, how do I put this? He's from all that I understand, he's a good guy.
Don't need good guys. We need ballers.
He's a good guy.
Ballers. Get the whole good guy thing.
But I think I think his problem is going to be I just don't know how physical he really is.
Mm-hmm.
You jam him at the line. That's what happened all year.
Yep.
Got jammed at the line. Guess what? Anything. You've got to find a way, and that right there in the NFL, you're going to get jammed a lot. So I think he could go to some teams, end up being a number 2 or number 3 receiver where, he doesn't have to shoulder that jam at the line. They're going to be playing him off coverage anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be effective, but the Titans don't need that. The Titans need the next Julio Jones.
Yeah.
They need that guy who's going to accent A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And then you have a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3 receiver that is just pick your pill, pick which poison you want. That's where the Titans need. They're looking for their next number 2 receiver. And that he's not it. I see him being special at a number 3, but I do not see him being special any higher than that.
I agree.
And Josh says the Titans really need a burner. I totally agree with that. I think we need a speed guy.
I really don't think they need a burner if they have a tight end that can catch, that can pressure that safety into staying where he is.
Yeah.
Can't hurt to have some speed, though.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're right. You're right. And I really like Jahan Dotson. I mean, has a good combination. Has a good combination of hands and speed.
All right, let's get to this. I got the little mock draft simulator. This is Pro Football Focus's. These picks will, these automatic picks will go through pretty quick. Obviously, these mock draft things, some of them are kind of crazy and where they pick and stuff like that. We could trade if we want. We could trade before the draft starts. I mean, we don't have to, but what do you guys think? Do you think we're definitely trading that number 1 spot for a second rounder and say a late 3rd or 4th?
I would love to finagle Detroit and get 32 and 34. I know it's not going to happen. I would, if I could steal 32 and 34 from them, or at least get one of those 2 picks and maybe their early 3rd round pick, or I believe they got maybe a couple of 3rd rounders, maybe steal one of those from them. I would do that because I'm thinking, but that would depend if there's a quarterback still available. If there's like 1 or 2 quarterbacks still available, I could see that. But I tried this simulator. I tried to get a trade with Detroit. It did not work. I couldn't get a trade with Detroit to save my life.
We could get a 32 and a 101. 101's getting into the what? So you'd have 60, 30, 30s and above would be like second round, 60s, 3rd, 90s, 4th.
I think 101 is 3rd. I want to say 101 might be toward the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah, it is because that's a compensatory.
60.
Yeah, I think it's at the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah.
So I mean, me
personally, I would take a second this year and a second next year for that first rounder. It solves 2 problems. It solves your salary cap problem this year.
Yeah.
And next year there's not going to be a salary cap problem because there was an upper limit to how much the cap could go this year because of the COVID years. Next year that's gone.
Yeah, and the cap after this year is just gonna skyrocket.
Yeah. So it solves my salary cap issue.
It's going to get to a point where you get up to 300 mil. And as I've always said, salary cap is a myth.
Yeah.
Salary cap is not real. So people being scared, talking about, well, we ain't got no cap money. We ain't got no cap money. Look at Kansas City and Denver. I mean, not Denver, Green Bay. Make it seem like there's no such thing as a salary cap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, So me personally, if I was going to look for a quarterback, it wouldn't be in this draft.
I agree.
I don't see the top tier quarterbacks are going to be gone. And the next level wouldn't even be the next level in any other draft year.
I agree.
These would be third, fourth, maybe fifth round guys, and I just don't see these I think there was 4 guys I was looking at that I would consider first or second round picks in a normal year, and then everybody else would be
yeah.
pick
Pickett.
them up.
I think Pickett is the only surefire first rounder that I think he's a legit first rounder. Malik, I think Malik definitely has the talent. I mean, he has the talent, he has the arm strength, but I don't know why I start thinking about Jamarcus Russell. Not exactly the same
Why you have
head
to put
case.
Jamarcus in this?
I'm sorry. I mean, not. I'm not gonna say. I think he's smarter and better mentally than Jamarcus, so I'm not gonna say that. But I'm talking about boom or bust potential. That's why I say that.
Okay.
So I say he could be either the biggest boom or he's gonna be the biggest bust. You just don't know.
But when you see that ball come off that hand, it's not like he's even throwing. It's like he's going.
He's got a cannon. He's got a cannon.
Yeah, he's
accurate
about it.
He's a lead arm strength.
But my question is when that pressure is coming at him, when those 315-pound defensive ends are coming at him, running 4.40s at him, does he panic?
Good question.
That's my only reservation about Malik is he gonna panic?
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that one. And see, that's one. Matt Corral is kind of a mystery because I mean he's hurt, he didn't get to work out and things like that, so we really don't know with him as well.
Never been impressed with him.
Now, I will say one guy I was impressed with at the combine, but I am very leery of is Carson Strong. I thought he threw the ball very well at the combine. I thought he threw the ball well. I thought he threw it well. He threw a dime to Chris Olave.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Put it on the money. Couldn't have been thrown any better. But the injury issue. He's dealt with a couple of, knee injuries, and I feel like I'm staring at Jake Locker 2.0. That's the only thing. He's not very mobile. He's a Ben Roethlisberger statuesque type of quarterback. He's not extremely mobile. So that's what worries me about him.
It wasn't he the one that threw that back shoulder throw that was just insane?
You know what? I want to say yes. I want to say yeah. That might have been him.
I want to think that was that he threw that back shoulder throw.
Like Carson Strong threw a few dimes. I'm not gonna lie. He threw some dimes without a doubt.
Intriguing one for sure. There's a lot of people who I've seen him first on some people's boards.
It's just the injury thing. The injury thing scares the absolute crap out of me.
Yeah. All right. So let's go with here. So are we going to trade? It looks like they will accept this trade for the 32 101th pick, or do we trade for, I don't even know if they give us a second round. No, they're not. Let's see. No, they're not going to give us they're not going to give us 2. So, or second round this year, next year.
Try third round next year.
And third would be accepted, but I mean,
you kind of want to get something else. 47.
We could. They would do a second round, third round this year, and a fourth round next year.
Let's see. I'm down for that. I mean, you get 32. You get you're right at the end of the first round, second round. You have 2 third rounders, which if we want to trade back up into the top half of the third, maybe even the second, you can finagle those 2 third picks and do that. So yeah, that could work.
Personally, I think you could finagle the third one of the third rounds and one of your fourth rounds. Because you're going to have 2 fourths.
Yeah.
I think you could do that.
Let's offer him this. Boom, they took it. All right. So we'll start it here. Like I said, these are going to come through quick. We'll kind of go back and look at who picked who. But so yeah, this will be interesting. I've done probably 100 of these things so far, just playing around with them and stuff.
See, they picked the quarterback.
Let's
right
kind
off
of go
the
back
bat.
and see.
But a lot of good players are gone.
Aiden Hutchinson, he's been first in a lot of my mocks.
I love Aiden Hutchinson.
Evan Neal, Thibodeau, kind of your typical top 10 so far. A lot of people, in a lot of these mocks that I've simulated, Malik is going to Seattle. Like I've simulated this like a lot, and Malik, Seattle's picking Malik. Now, you've heard a lot of rumors today that they're trying to throw the farm at Deshaun Watson now.
They have it. Seattle's got, now they have a lot of ammunition.
Yeah, so I mean, they could make a move for Watson. He got cleared from any criminal wrongdoing. That doesn't mean he's still going to be in the clear, but I mean, it is good for his case that there's no criminal charges, but the NFL still could put the boom down on him.
You know? That's very true.
I to be honest with you, because he sat out last year, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they do either, but you know, we could see. We'll see what happens. Drake London, 14th. Jameson Williams, 16th.
Man, I wanted those two guys. They went back-to-back 16 and 17.
Olave, there's Penning already gone. Jermaine Johnson.
See, I told you, Detroit went with quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep, Sam Howell.
Which I think is way too early for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you go tight end here. Because
I'm going to go receiver. Jahan Dotson is still on the board.
I go tight end. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, let's see
it's such a position of need.
Let's see who's available. So we got we'll go ahead and look at tight end here. You got Trey this is intriguing. You know, you got Trey McBride available here. You know,
I would not draft a tight end this early. I would not, because there's gonna be plenty. There's gonna be plenty.
I would not go with you there.
I would not do it early.
So let's see who we got it.
But Tight for Life, I hear what you're saying though.
But I think this is also too early for a guard. So you got to go tackle. Too. And I don't see anybody that's left at tackle that's worth taking here.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
So if you're going tackle, what next position of need would probably be center.
Yeah, and the only worthy center is Lindenbaum, and he's gone already too.
So now we're back to tight end
or wide receiver.
But
let's see what we got receiver.
I just think this wide receiver.
I take Dotson. I would take Dotson without thinking twice. I would take Dotson. I would be running to the podium. And honestly enough, in this particular position, if this happened, we traded back at the end of the first round and it kind of shaped out like this. Honestly, if I'm J-Rob, I might consider trading back again.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I would say if we traded back, we have an extra third rounder, and we have an extra third rounder and everything now. I would see what team, because Desmond Ridder is still on the board too. Maybe see if somebody comes up for him. I would say this would not be a bad idea to trade back again into the second round and get some more. Get another third, or get another third and maybe a second next year, or a fourth. So that's what I would do if it's me. But I would say wide receiver right here. I would say wide receiver, definitely, because tight end you can still get later. Tackle looks like you can get later. But that's just me. That's me.
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't be adverse to trading back. What about you? What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could try it. I mean, you trade back, you risk losing Dotson. A lot of people like Moore too.
Yo, I like him. I
I
like
like
him.
more, but I'm not.
Dotson,
I'm not sold on him. I'm more sold on Dotson than I am on Moore, just to be honest with you.
And Titan Rob says, "What about cornerback? Let's go ahead and look at the cornerback just to see what we got." Because the people, you guys in the chat are part of the war room too, so let us know if you guys, want this.
We definitely will probably need some depth at corner. Maybe a guy that has the potential to step in as a starter if something goes wrong with Caleb Farley, which, I mean, all intents and purposes, from what I believe Buck Rising even said it, from what he's heard, rehab is going pretty well for Caleb Farley, and it looks like he's gonna have a great opportunity to start across from Christian Fulton. So corner, I think it's too early. I mean, I could see it's getting some depth later, but offense early. We got to go offense with the first couple of picks. Again, that's just me.
So, who did we see at tackle? Was there anyone at tackle that was?
No, I mean, you got Kennard there, which is an interesting thing. I don't know much about this Lucas guy. I don't remember seeing him on the.
Yeah, I don't know much about
Buzz
him
report
either.
there. I mean, he's ranked high on here, but I don't know much about the guy.
I don't either. I don't either. I just, these guys, I don't see worthy of a first round pick. We would be reaching.
Well, remember, this isn't a first.
This is the second. Well, this is
the first. This
is the first. Yeah. This is right at the end.
High second.
Yeah.
32nd pick. So technically,
I wouldn't be adverse to move back, but at the same time,
let's see what we got.
You get your choice of tight ends. I mean,
if
I'd say pick up the wide receiver.
We got 5 teams that would be willing to trade with us. Now, Atlanta would be, if we were going to go back 8 picks early into the second round, obviously they got our second or we get our second round pick back from them.
Yeah, but we would need a little something more than that. If we're going that far back, they need to give up their second next year.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's gonna. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna accept that for us.
For 32.
Oh, let me see. I didn't click 32. Ours. Yeah, they would do it according to the simulator.
If we do that, and I don't know if we can get maybe something later.
We could get a 149. Probably.
That is definitely. We're heading much further back. We need a little bit more.
We could maybe get 110. It says 57% chance to be accepted.
Well, I think if we get it, to be honest with you, in 2023, I would much rather have a third round pick because I think the running back class in 2023 is going to be much better.
And the quarterback class is going to be better
and the quarterback class is going to be much better. So you'll be able to get a good running back, because Derrick Henry is going to be taking some wear and tear.
We're going to have to start. I mean, especially if we don't bring Deontay Foreman back, right. We at some point do need to get the Prince. We need to find us a Prince who is ready to assume the throne when it is, when it's time for us to have a new king. So,
all right. So we got to make a decision here. So we're going to trade back, or we going to keep the picks we got?
This
is tough. This is
tough. I have no envy for J-Rob in this position.
So I trade back with Atlanta here. We could get a 40 and a 110 now.
I'd say 40 and 72. Let's see if that works.
I don't think it's going to. I think I already messed with it. No.
19%. Okay.
So a 40 and a 110 would work, or let's see, 40.
I'll say 40, 110, maybe a second and a third next year. See if that works.
No, just the
Try-
third.
Try 40, 110, and then
You get a
R4
third.
Tennessee, where we get our Tennessee back. Our
What,
pick
next
back.
year?
Yeah, and then get rid of the R3.
Oh, I see. Get that 4th round pick back next year.
Better.
I mean, that would work.
And there's a reason why I say that.
Because now we have 3 4th round. We have 3 4th rounders. I believe that 110 is 4th round. So now we got 3 4th rounders. We got 3 4th rounders. We're already gonna have 2 3rd rounders. So we can now take this 40, make a pick, and then we can finagle some other picks, move up a little bit earlier in the 3rd. We could go up in the 3rd. We can do some work with this.
Me personally, I would, the reason why I would keep one of my 4ths and trade back, and I would keep trading back because, to be honest with you, look, at some point in time, the Titans have to be thinking about kicker.
Yes.
And you gotta.
That's a valid point too.
And you got to go, and kickers don't generally get drafted until like the 5th, 6th round at best. So you trade back and you just trade back and you start accumulating all these picks for when the cap is, the cap starts booming up. And now you've got all these picks. You sit back and do like what New England was doing. Now you're able to move around in the first round.
And we trade back, maybe see if we could get, I will say this from 26. If we just trade our way out of the first round, like I would even say with like in Atlanta, if we trade even further back in the 2nd round, see if we could maybe get another number 1 or a high 2 from somebody, and we could use that to trade up further in round 1 next year if there's a big time quarterback and get Tannehill the heck out of here.
But you think about it, that's what New England did all those years. They traded back, and they got all these draft picks, and all of a sudden they had all these players on their first year deal, and they were able to finagle those. And then when they get to the end of their first year, they get close to the end of their first year deal, their first deal, they trade them and get more draft picks.
Yep.
And that's why they were able to be so successful for so long, is because they accumulated these draft picks. Now I'm thinking strategically over a long period of time of setting up a dynasty, as opposed to we hit the Super Bowl and the next thing, and then we do nothing for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I'm thinking strategically of how to build a dynasty with the trading back, getting more picks, getting the right pieces. I think we need a kicker. I think Xavier was talking about this earlier today. He said, do the Titans just re-sign Fat Randy or not?
I'm saying,
or Sam Ficken. Sam Ficken deserves to have a chance to get his job back, because if it wasn't for that injury at Tampa Bay, the job was his. Because Rossi, after we went over there, he boomed like a 56, 57 yarder against Tampa Bay. So
I was there.
Sam Ficken deserves every opportunity to get his job back.
But at some point, you got to think.
But
we got to get the guy.
I agree. I don't. I have no problem with that.
And then at some point in time, you got to start thinking punter too, because we getting some long in the tooth. Brett Kern there, he's getting a little long in the tooth. How long is he going to be able to boom?
Huh? We don't want FedEx guy.
No, Lord, no.
And if you've got enough draft picks, you can go out there and get you a guy. You know what I'm saying? You can go out there and get you a kicker and a punter and say, okay, these are going to be our guys for the next 7, 8, 9 years, and not have that as a position of worry. I'm like I said, I think of building dynasties. I don't think of building a team. I think of building a dynasty where everybody goes, hey, we're going to Tennessee. I'm going to take a pay cut to go to Tennessee because I want to win a ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna make this trade here. Let's see.
All right.
Resume draft. All right, here we go. We're rolling again. So you guys in the chat, we've yet to make our first pick yet. We've traded twice. We traded back to the 40th pick. Now we've got some picks in return, so we're doing pretty good. We got an extra third and a fourth, I think, or 2 fourths. I can't remember.
I think we got an extra third and an extra fourth now.
All right,
Well, it's not showing our picks there though. It's only showing 40, 90, and 101.
Well,
it's
I think they're just showing like the next 3 picks.
Yeah, I think it's just showing the remaining 3. So, all right, so here we go. So let's kind of look at. We need to pick somebody here. Let's look at we got wide receiver. Pickens is there. Ross, that's the guy who is. Watson's there.
Let's see what tight end look like. Now, at this point, I'm okay with a tight end.
Yeah.
I would be okay with a tight end.
Let's see here.
And I see Trey McBride is sitting there.
He's still there. I think we got to take him, right?
I would take him. I would take him.
I'd run. I'd be standing at the podium before.
There we go. Matt Corral goes to Indy.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Wow.
I'm not sold on Matt Corral.
Pickens
I don't
goes.
know what it is. It's something about him that I've never liked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Mechie goes to Cleveland.
Let's see, Cole Strange went early. So now we're back up again. And as you can see, Carson Strong is sitting there. I'm like, that's interesting.
Now that's an interesting pick right there.
And that is, and I've heard
Christian Watson is sitting there. See, we got 9101. If I would say get Watson or Austin and hope that the other is there too, might as well double dip while we're
check that wide receiver for a second. I want to see something at wide receiver.
Austin's there.
Austin and Watson are there, and I like both.
But we're at 90, right now?
Yeah, we're at 90 now, and then we got to go to 1. Then we pick again at 101.
So
honestly, I would probably go with Watson because I think Austin's going to be there at 101.
And I'm telling you, if Austin is there at 101, I would be running. Might as well.
Now look at guard. I want to take a look at guard here.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we can take a look at guard and tackle too.
Yeah, let's.
We got to address offensive line eventually as well. I mean, corner. Yeah, Marquise Hayes is still there. Maybe you get him late in the third or one of our fourth round picks. I can see that because we got, I believe, 3 fourth rounders.
I don't know.
Mays is already gone.
Yeah,
is he?
Some people have him really high on their board.
I might have seen it. Now, Alec Lindstrom
kid.
Alec Lindstrom from Boston College wouldn't be a bad pick. Maybe too early, but Cam Jurgens is another guy at center. Yeah. I've heard.
He's a straight mauler though. He's
a lot of this has to do though if Ben Jones is going to be gone or not.
Now that is a good point. Now Marquise Hayes could be good. I wouldn't pick him yet. Maybe with that 110, I probably would. Definitely wouldn't mind that. I think that's where we could go offensive line more. I think I'm just like Dotson ain't available. He's gone.
Nah, he's off the board.
Christian Watson and Calvin Austin, they're still there. I would take both of those guys without thinking twice.
Let's look at tackle.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Tackle.
Dersh.
I've heard of a little bit.
He's still there.
Now, Zach Tom, I've heard some good things. We talked about him at the combine.
There's my boy.
There's your guy.
Honestly, if I thought he would be there at 101,
he might be.
If I thought he'd be there at 101,
I would take Christian Watson right here at 90, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go Watson. What do you guys think?
So now you got a tight end and we have a wide receiver.
I want to see something real quick just on running back because there's a guy that I like. I just want to see if he's still here. This Strong Junior guy I've kind of had my eye on. Zonovan Knight too. Just curious. And the running backs are obviously that's not a deep group this year either, but there are some speedsters. Let's see. All right, so we're going with the Watson, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick. That's
I
a
think
great
so
pick,
too.
gentlemen.
I think so too.
And Coda thinks it's a good pick too.
See, Durchich goes. Let's see who's left.
All right.
I wonder if Watson is still there. If Austin is still there.
No,
he's gone. Ah, damn.
I
knew that was gonna be the case. I had hopes.
Yeah.
I had hopes because I would have double dipped. I would have got Watson and Austin.
You guys still there? That you were one.
So
I don't know.
I think here now that we've gotten a tight end, we gotten a wide receiver.
Let's look at tackle.
Yeah, I would kind of go.
Oh, Luke. I go Luke.
I mean, what else can
Honestly,
you do?
I go Luke.
I mean,
come on.
I would say either guard or tackle at this point. We got to address the offensive line at some
you want to
point.
be a winner or a champion?
Who do you want, Xavier? We'll go with your pick on this one.
Yeah,
I'm saying Luke.
Okay.
Want to be champions, not winners.
Let's go with Gadecki on this one.
I cannot pronounce his name.
Gadecki.
I've heard. I can't say it.
Gadecki.
Gadecki.
Somebody put it in the chat earlier.
Gadecki.
I know. I just can't say it. I know what it is. I just can't.
I think it was Miss
Like
Mims that spelled it out earlier.
Yeah, somebody did.
All right, let's get Gadecki here. All right, where are we at now?
So him and Dylan Rayduns can battle it out. If Rayduns loses out, move him to guard. So that's.
Wait, what happened there?
Oh, did we only do 3 rounds? Not
Oh,
7?
maybe I only had it set for 3 rounds. That's why it was only showing.
Wow.
Oh, that was dumb. Let's see here. Yeah, I only set it. I guess I didn't click for 7 rounds. I guess I only clicked for 3. Awesome. I mean, we can start it over if you want, but
That's not a bad 3-rounder though.
Yeah, we could just kind of go off this one, you know. We're at an hour and a half, so we did 3 rounds. What do y'all think? Or we can start it over. It's up to y'all. We can just kind of
let's look at our results. I want to see our results here.
Yeah.
So our results for 3 rounds. My bad, guys. I didn't know. Maybe that you were right. That's why it was only showing 3. So here's our results. Trey McBride. I think that's a good first 3 picks.
Good value. I think that's good value because I think in the middle part of the second round, you know, going into the third, there's gonna start to be a run on tight ends at some point. It's too deep of a class. It's gonna start to be a run. Second round, there's gonna be a run of wide receivers and tight ends.
Now they're giving us a C.
They gave us a C.
How? That was a really good.
I thought we made some solid picks. Honestly,
yeah.
I really wanted to go into the 4th round, man. I don't know. I guess I'd click the freaking 3 rounds.
But I would say the good thing about this is, you know, we ended up getting a second round. So we picked in the second round. We ended up getting an additional 4th rounder. So we got 3 4th rounders. We ended up getting 2 third. So we had a second, 2 3s, 3 4s, and then we got 2 more 4s next year.
Yeah.
So we would have, you know, we got in a second, we got 2 3s, we got 3 4th round picks this year. We'll have 3 4th round picks next year.
So Coda says, "How's McBride a D+?" I don't know. I think that's great.
I have no idea.
I think
I don't know.
That's
I guess they're saying that he's the 64th ranked player, and we picked him at 40.
Yeah.
So they're thinking that we reached a little.
To be honest, I feel like.
Well, even though we may have reached a little, but the thing is you have to pair your needs with
exactly
your
best
pick.
player available and he was one of the best players available at that spot. So
to be honest, I think the grading was scuffed.
Yeah.
I like it because we got positions of need. I think we've got I think we got a little bit of a project on offensive line there, but I think we've got a run blocker, which is something we definitely need on the O-line because, you got the king, you can't let his crown get dented.
I agree. I'm with you. I don't think we did too bad.
I was trying to see where Austin went. He went to Green Bay.
He went to Green Bay 2 picks later.
Wouldn't
he went 2 picks later.
Yeah, he would be something to see with Aaron Rodgers, I think.
And then we got to go up against him.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, I think this is a good kind of indication of what the Titans could potentially do. And I don't see them not, messing around like this and getting more picks because obviously they're going to want to get back missing that second round pick from Julio. So I just don't see them not, unless there's just a guy there that they absolutely want at 26. I mean, we can kind of do that too, and then we'll kind of start wrapping it up. But for me personally, the only guy that, like, unless there's just some crazy person that didn't go like in the top 10 that's supposed to be there, the guy for me that would be at 26 that I would say stay there and take him would be Penny. I just like him that much.
But I think he was gone. Well, for this draft, he was gone.
He was gone. But in reality, if he is there, I think you got to go with him and stick with your pick. I don't know. Who is that guy for you? And we'll go with James too. But who would be that guy for you?
I'm gonna say, me personally, I like Penning or Lindenbaum. Depending on what happens with Ben Jones, I would like them both. Honestly enough, for me, it comes down to 3 guys: Dotson, Olave, or Jameson Williams. And I think Olave won't be there most likely, but Dotson and Williams should be there. I think they should be there. But if it's me, at the end of the day, I would go with Olave or Dotson.
Okay. To be honest with you, like I said, from my point of view, my frame point of view, there's really no one outside of the top 10 outside of the top 10 players who I think are the top 10 players that would be there. Maybe if I have to pick one, Cross maybe.
Yeah,
but he'll be. I think he'll be.
He'll be gone, but that's the one guy who I think maybe.
I would say
Penning. I like Penning. I think that he's got some footwork issues, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see him being there either. But to be honest with you, there's no one else in this draft. I think you've got to take a tackle. I think you've got to take a right tackle. I think you've got to take a true right tackle. You can get guard later, as we showed here. You can get guard later. And the only other position of need, and I sound like a broken record over and over and over again, for those of you who know what records are.
Tight end.
Yeah, because some of us grew up with them where you had to put a nickel on the needle. You know what I'm saying? You had to put that nickel on the needle to keep it from skipping.
Stop acting like you're 500 years old.
In my day.
Cade Mays wasn't even
Autographs.
gone yet. They must not
Um,
have had him ranked that high on PFF or something.
Who?
Cade Mays, he wasn't even gone yet.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
he was
I
gone.
thought he was gone. I thought he was gone in.
We thought he was
Yeah,
gone
some
like
of these
late
things
third
are a
round.
little,
For some reason, I thought he was gone in the third.
Me
and
too. I think we all did.
Olave, I think he's going to
Because if Cade Mays is there in the third, I retract my.
Yeah.
If he's there in the third, then
And
he's
is
got to go.
Penning is Penning a right tackle? Was he a right tackle in college or a left tackle? I don't
think
know.
it was left. I think
He
it
was
was left.
See, that's the
But
thing.
in high
too.
school, he played right.
That's the thing too. We need a right tackle. I mean, I feel like they're gonna do something to keep Luan. Like they're gonna make something happen. It's finding, we got to find that right tackle.
But here's the thing: like when we drafted Jack Conklin, he played left side. And we ended up moving him to right.
Moved to right, yeah.
And
If I'm not mistaken, though, he played right tackle in high school, and they moved him to left in college because he was so dominant.
Yeah.
You hate really? Come on now.
Ducky's awesome,
Chucky,
man.
come on.
I love
Ducky,
Ducky.
quack, quack. Chucky, Ducky, quack, quack.
Ducky's
I mean,
the
he's not
best.
the best quarterback in the world. I mean, to be honest, he throws as many picks as he does completions.
There you go, Chris.
Hey,
I
Chucky,
mean, come
Ducky,
on.
quack, quack. Yes. Yes. Once somebody gets it.
He's not like
I
a.
don't hate him.
He's not like
I'm
a
not
Tom
a fan
Brady
of him
type guy,
anymore.
but
To be honest with you, I mean, if we get that right side of the line shored up to where he's not running for his life every single throw, we get the receivers out there and where he's got some work with him, he's put in some time with him, some work with him, and we get a tight end. I don't think that this team, I'm not going to say they're not beatable. On any given Sunday in the NFL, you're beatable. I think that that this team is scary. I think defensive coordinators get sick. I can't something wrong with my throat. I think I'm going to have to sit this game out. And I think that's what happens with defensive coordinators with a really good draft class and some free agent pickups here or there, and keeping the core of this team together.
We'll be the one that they don't want to see coming. Like they're gonna throw us away, and we're gonna find a way to just sneak back up and kind of pick each of them off one by one. They're all up front. We're just gonna come sneak in from behind. So when we're under the radar, we're a much better football team.
Yeah.
I
mean, I really and last year we had how many games the Titans won. I believe it was on Rossi's channel we did that, and we were talking about that, and I said at worst 12-5, and I was predicting somewhere around I think it was 14-3 is where I ended up. And I wasn't far off. Them Titans, boy. Whoo! But and that was without a healthy Derrick Henry. Now you bring in a healthy Derrick Henry. And the one guy who I missed on, and I think everybody on the Titans organization missed on, was that tight end.
Yeah. John, probably should have held on to Jonnu.
Definitely.
But he didn't have a good year
I don't
this year.
think Jonnu was worth it.
Now that I can understand, like for the money, congratulations for getting his money, no doubt. But
I'm never mad at a brother getting paid,
True.
Or a sister for that matter. I mean, hey,
he didn't even
they
do
don't show you
much
the
in
paper,
New
show the
England.
paper.
That was a weird thing. In New England, I mean, they used him as a blocker mostly, but he got paid. He definitely got paid.
Well, they had no choice but to use him as a blocker.
Yeah.
Their offensive line was a little shaky at times. So,
Shake.
Ducky says Johnny Smith is overpaid. Pat should cut him for robbery. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We've gone 1:45, maybe my longest live show ever, but I appreciate you guys so much, man. This was a fun show. And Xavier, thank you so much for hanging in there and coming on and giving us your thoughts too. And I know you have a YouTube channel as well that you want to get going soon. You want to plug your channel?
Yeah, so I have a science channel, Crazy Kid Science, one word. We have posted some cool experiments, and if you're trying to get into science, we will help you with that on our channel. We tell you all the stuff that you need to do the experiments with, so please check it out. And
awesome. That's really cool. Right. And Ducky said he's going to subscribe to you. So there you go.
Yay.
You got one.
Right.
And, Chris, just let them know where they can find you, and James as well. And what y'all got coming up here.
Well, y'all can find me Titans and Truth on YouTube. That's Titans and then letter N and Truth. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and make sure you hit that bell so you know that I'll be going live. I go live usually every Wednesday night around 6 p.m. Like I said, I'll be doing a free agency show, kind of talking about some of the free agency moves that have started, because free agency would have started by then. And then as the weeks go on, we're going to start previewing positions for the draft. I will have a live draft show. Hopefully, I will be doing a live draft show from Vegas, from the draft.
I heard about this.
Plan. That is a plan I'll probably be on my phone or whatever, but doing a live draft show from the draft, basically giving my thoughts on each of the picks as it happens. So definitely stay tuned for that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's Titans in Truth. And then, of course, also that is the main page on Facebook, the TNT Enforcers page on Facebook, at Titans_in_truth on Instagram, and TNT Blue Enforcer. That's TNT BLUEN number 4 CER on Twitter. And so I'm trying to get my Twitter game up too. So please go connect with me on any of those channels and subscribe. I promise you won't regret it.
And all their links will be in the description of this video. Actually, yours is already in there, and Titans for Life is too. But James, I'll let you go ahead now.
On Twitter, it's Big Sportsman 3. On YouTube, it's Titans for Life. I'm not on Facebook very often anymore. I've kind of chilled out on Facebook. There's just too many, too much abrasiveness, and I like to keep it real, but I also like to keep it, nice,
Yeah.
But on Facebook is it's just something that I only post when I'm going on. But I'm also here on the Titan Upload Network. I'm a member of the Titan Upload Network. I haven't been able to post a whole lot because, as you can tell, I'm still in the hotel room. Where I'm hoping to get out in the next week or two, trying to find a rental house right now to move into and try to furnish and stuff like that. So anyway, you'll be catching me on, I'll be posting some next week. I've got the scripts written out, but every time I write a script out to do something, that day something changes.
And is your GoFundMe still active for the house fire?
Yes,
all right.
It is.
And if it's not, it should already be in the description of this of this video. If it's not, I'll put it in there right after the show. James's his house burnt down a while ago, and there's a GoFundMe set up for him too. So you guys make sure and check that out. So
it's
definitely put the link out there. I'll make sure I retweet it.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you very much. We're really just trying to get Xavier back to a little bit of normalcy. Get him. He likes the game, and he also likes to make YouTube videos and start getting him up on that.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to do that on a laptop when you're editing on a laptop is not the ideal setting, and he likes to play his games and stuff like that, and I don't understand some of the games, but
yeah, I'm a gamer too, bud. So.
I tell you, the last game I played consistently was Pac-Man.
That's what
the original Pac-Man.
You are old, man.
Wow.
Dang, you are old.
The original Pac-Man.
I play Madden and I play WWE, so I'm trying to get back into playing more.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Football work.
I understand.
Best game ever. Besides, I don't even know Among Us.
Oh, he loves that Among Us game.
That's a great game. I've played that game.
I don't understand. They got killers running around.
Yeah, I play it with my buddies every so often, Xavier. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thank y'all so much. Tighten up. Go follow these guys. Like I said, the GoFundMe links to Eddie Titans for Life will be in the description. Thank y'all so much again for coming up. Tighten up.
Keep it real, y'all.
Holla.